So the Akira video is going to take a little time to get out, and that's for two reasons. One, I've been really busy this week, and I haven't had time to sit down and watch it from beginning to end. And two, it's a really tough movie to really understand when you're in a situation like I am for watching movies. You know, I'm in my dorm room, I have a computer, that's really all I have to watch it on. So what I was going to do is wait until November 3rd to review it. Now, why is that? Well, on November 3rd, the New Art Theater in Santa Monica is doing a midnight screening of Akira. And I wanted to go to that because, number one, that would just be amazing. And two, I feel like if I'm in a theater, I will have a much more interesting experience watching the movie, and I'll be able to talk about it a little better. So, for the next List of Shame video, I'm going to do Beetlejuice, and keep doing those until Akira on November 3rd. Then I'll finally be able to talk about it with some more confidence. So, for this week, I watched 3 movies instead of 5 like last week. So, it depends on what I'm doing that weekend and where I am for how many movies I really watch. And I didn't want to just do 2 movies because I feel like that would be a little too little for a video like this. So I watched 3 movies this week, all 2017 releases, and I'm going to talk about them right now. So, like before, I'm going to talk about these from my least enjoyed to the one I most enjoyed. And the one I enjoyed the least was American Made, starring Tom Cruise, directed by Doug Liman. It's the true story of Barry Seal, who worked for the CIA, running guns and coke over the border into South America and back into America. The whole advertising campaign is that it's a story so true that it's a true story that's so crazy you can't even believe that any of it happened. And the movie makes it seem pretty crazy, but it fabricated a lot of what actually happened in the real story. Tom Cruise is good in the movie, Domhnall Gleeson's good in the movie, but the problem is the directing. It's just so obnoxious and overbearing. Doug Liman keeps telling the DP to zoom in and out of Domhnall Gleeson's face constantly. The color palette keeps changing. The shakiness of the camera is nauseating. And the movie's like an hour and 50 minutes long. And it's doing that through the entire movie. And it's not even just during the intense action sequences. It's all the time, just zooming in and out, and it's awful to watch. The movie's just a big eyesore. The story is incredibly fabricated from what actually happened in real life, like I said before. There's articles kind of chronicling everything that happened with Barry Seal. It just doesn't do a really compelling version of the story. If I had to rate it, I would give it a 4 out of 10. It's just, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a really disappointing watch, and it's not worth your time. The next movie I watched this week was Kingsman: The Golden Circle. And while it isn't as terrible as a lot of people are saying it is, it's still not very good. Taron Egerton's great, Colin Firth is great, Mark Strong's great. Channing Tatum's only in the movie for 10 minutes, and what he is in is not particularly interesting. Halle Berry's really useless as a character. Jeff Bridges is only in one room, and I'm pretty sure they shot all his scenes in one day, and his contract said that he could just be sitting down the majority of the time. And he does that accent that he's been doing ever since True Grit that's getting really old. Even in Hell or High Water, which is a good movie, it's really annoying. All the characters don't feel as interesting or fleshed out as they did in the first movie. The first film, you see Eggsy changing as a character, going from kind of a street thug in England to, you know, a gentleman and a real secret agent, sort of like a James Bond type. And in this, he just stays the exact same through the whole movie. He doesn't really have any character flaws. Colin Firth's character is interjected into the plot in a really annoying and stupid way. It does have one good emotional scene between Colin Firth and Eggsy, but it's not worth the crap that they made the characters do to get there. Another thing is that the movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, which is way too long for a Kingsman movie. The action scenes, while entertaining and fun, are really badly shot and they're well choreographed, but the digital stitching of shots together to make it all look like one shot gets really annoying. If you've seen the first movie, you'll remember the scene in the church, the one that's choreographed to the song Freebird. And that's a really fun action scene, and because it's so unique and it stands out among the movie. However, the problem is with this new one, they try to shoot every single action scene like the church scene. And it makes every action scene feel kind of weightless and less special than that church scene did. The final action scene in the diner between Colin Firth, Taron Egerton, and the cowboy guy, the guy from Game of Thrones, I forget his name. It could be really fun if they weren't playing this horrible country cover of the song Word Up by Cameo in the background. It's just so obnoxious and bad. The rest of the action scenes, they have to have some sort of pop song. Speaking of pop songs, oh my god, the Elton John stuff in this movie is horrendously bad. The whole joke is like, oh, Julianne Moore, the villain, kidnapped Elton John and kept him for her own entertainment. She dresses him like a peacock. Oh, look, it's Elton John kicking a bad guy in the face and winking at the camera. That actually happens in the movie. Elton John kicks a guy in the face, looks at the camera, and winks. It's that kind of movie. If I had to rate it, it'd be a 5 out of 10. I'm sick of talking about this movie. For the next movie that I saw the Meyerowitz Stories, which is the new Netflix Noah Baumbach film, with Ben Stiller, Dustin Hoffman, Emma Thompson, and Adam Sandler. And Adam Sandler is actually one of the best things about the movie, believe it or not. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Adam Sandler is so frustrating because if he was like Rob Schneider, where there was just no talent and he was just a schlockmeister and a hack and a sellout, it'd be fine because you would expect that bad stuff from him. But Adam Sandler is genuinely talented. When he tries, he's great, like in Punch Drunk Love or in The Wedding Singer or like something like Spanglish or Funny People. Those are all really good movies because Adam Sandler's giving a heartfelt performance. And in this movie, next to Punch Drunk Love, I'd say it's his best. He's the most interesting character. He has the most development. He is the one you feel the most sorry for when he's down on his luck, and he's just really great. Ben Stiller's really good in it too. He kind of plays the douchebag brother who was really successful in this family of starving artists, and he makes it work. I'm assuming he was better in this than he was in Brad's Status. I didn't see that this year, but I haven't heard great things about it. Emma Thompson is surprisingly hilarious in it. She plays kind of the drunken stepmother who's always making horrible meals and making stupid decisions for the family. And while I wish she had a little more screen time, when she was on screen, she was great. And Dustin Hoffman is hilarious in this. This is one of his best performances I've ever seen from him. And I haven't seen Straw Dogs, so, I can't really, or Lenny, so I can't really speak for Dustin Hoffman's great performances from the 60s and 70s, but in this he was really fun and interesting, and he played a believable artist, and some artists are pretentious assholes. There's a lot of fun cameos in this, like from Judd Hirsch and Adam Driver, Sigourney Weaver. They're just really fun little roles sprinkled throughout the movie. If I did have a problem, the last 10 minutes becomes a little unorganized, and it feels like there's less flow and it's just a bunch of different scenes, although I know the title of the movie is The Meyerowitz Stories, New and Selected, so take that as you will. But I just wish it wrapped up a little better than it did. Everything else is great though. All the characters felt very realistic and like these would be actual people that you would meet or run into on the street. The writing is hilarious. The directing is really good. It's probably one of my favorite Noah Baumbach movies behind Squid and the Whale. It's a great movie. I'd recommend it. If I had to rate it, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. You should definitely catch it on Netflix. It's probably better than a lot of what's in theaters right now, besides Blade Runner and Florida Project, of course. So, those are the movies I watched this week. If there's anything in theaters right now coming out this weekend, I'll probably see it. Like, I'm looking forward to The Killing of Sacred Deer. As for The List of Shame, I'm going to watch Beetlejuice next and figure it out from there. I will get to Akira eventually. I feel bad about promising that and not delivering. But I'm excited for what's coming up. And also, I'm planning on a new series of videos called Unpopular Opinions, whether that's about music or film or video games or anything like that. So can't wait to share it.